Hey, what is going on, people? This is Elder Tenchi back for another TMNT Rant Rave review on episode 6 entitled Metalhead. Now, this episode starts out. This is just. I love this show. I just gotta say before I start this, I love this show. We're only 6 episodes in, and it's just epic. All right, in all sense of the word for Turtle fans. Yep. Anyway, so episode 6 starts out on where the turtles are on a mission, basically fighting the Krang droids, and Donatello is feeling, he's feeling a little out of it. He's feeling like he doesn't have any really, any real purpose with his weapon. He feels like he's got a really lame weapon, which is his bow staff, because he sees everybody else taking out the Krang droids with ease with their with their bladed weapons, or in Mikey's case, the nunchucks, and he hits one Krang droid in the head and gets absolutely no results. You know what I'm saying? So everybody else gotta pick up the slack. So he's like, what am I supposed to do with a stupid stick? So after that whole thing is said and done, they go back home, and Donatello took one of the one of the Krang droids, an empty Krang droid, and wants to find out how it works so he can convert it into something else. Of course, Raphael has something to say about it, and Donatello being the tech head, he is so excited to just start building something new and start taking these things apart and see how they work. To probably maybe improve their fighting, or improve their missions. That's what he's thinking. Plus, so they can take it easy while whatever he builds, which ends up being Metalhead, the robot, it shows how relying on technology is a double-edged sword, basically, in this episode. And April has a bigger part in this episode. She's hanging with the turtles throughout the entire thing, trying to figure out more information about what they're up against with the Krang, trying to save her dad. So, I really say big ups to that. She almost gets herself in trouble when she goes on a stealth mission solo. Which personally, I think one of the turtles should have at least tailed her to make sure she doesn't get in trouble. Yeah, this time around she's not the damsel in distress that's always trying to get a report, or she's not always getting in trouble, at least not right now. And she's doing this to save her father. Her whole thing is big determination, and the fact that her father was captured by the Krang. She wants to save him. So, nothing's going to stop her. Nothing's going to stop her. So I commend her for that, but at the same time, if you're going to do some sort of, stealth mission by yourself with a bunch of hostile aliens with mutagen and technology out the wazoo, laser guns, everything destructive, then you might want to, I don't know, have some people back you up. You got the turtles. Bring at least one of them along before, and then go back, tell the rest of them what's going down, because apparently the Krang want to turn New York into mutants. They want to test out the mutagen on everyone. I'm like, okay, they do this, everything's gonna be like X-Men, only with more beasts and more and more crazy looking monsters. So during a trial run with Metalhead, Donatello converts an old school game controller into a controller for Metalhead. So he basically turned, like he said at the beginning of the episode, he basically turns this into a video game, right? Which ends up kind of being a bad thing in some ways, because they tell him to stay behind. At one point, they end up getting outnumbered by the Krang, he comes to save them. He comes to the rescue. He has the upper hand for a minute, but then because he can't fully control the control the systems yet, it kind of backfires on him. I mean, he almost shoots his brothers multiple times, and one of the Krangs gets a hold of Metalhead, and starts controlling it, because the remote control antenna ends up getting cracked off of getting cracked off the system. So there's something that backfires right there, and so Master Splinter is quick to tell him that he's got to go and he's got to go and save his brothers on his own. No more relying on this technology or anything. Nothing beats ingenuity or anything like that. You got to do it on your own. So he gets the confidence to go and do it on its own, and he does a bang up job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yes, he almost ended up costing them the mission and making things worse, but he did make up for it. And he ends up blaming himself for what happened at the beginning. But you know what? You live, you learn. You can't always rely on technology. You have to rely on your wits. You have to rely on your skills. And Donatello, even though he's not quick to fight or quick to jump into a situation like that, he always wants to think with his head, and he loves technology. We get it, but you know you gotta rely on other things besides that. Technology is supposed to make things easier, but nothing's perfect. That's what I got out of it. Yeah, that may be a long explanation, but whatever. This episode was dope. I really hope to see more. More. Of course, we're gonna see more tech coming out of the turtles' heads, but it's gonna. I'm just waiting to see what else they got going on. How much more trouble can they get into? How much more trouble can April get into? This is just right now a dope series, and I cannot wait for the next episode. Let me know what y'all think of it, and until then, I will talk to you later. Peace, love, never be normal.